What's going on, New Gaming Order? This is Alex Lexus, Free Play Mode, and Shinwar. We're trying to get Project Justice on the broadcast, but unfortunately, we're having some tech difficulties with Skype, and I still have to set up his Discord so that we don't have like version errors and whatnot. But I just wanted to give the panel a chance to do some quick intro with the topic of the day being the beta 4 stress tests that have been going on in the wee hours of the morning. But I went to start with Shinwar. What's going on? Anything interesting you found in the beta so far?
I didn't get a chance to play it because I was asleep. I didn't know nothing about it, so I can't talk about it because I didn't play it.
Okay, all right. And Demizzle, did you get to play? I know Project Justice was playing till like
Yeah,
4 in the morning.
yeah, I
But
got to play a little bit. It went live at exactly midnight Eastern Standard Time. I got a handful of games in, and I put two of them up on my channel,
yeah,
youtube.com/freeplay mode, and you can see me suck as Cammy because I'm not a Cammy player. So,
yeah. Well, but Cammy, her normals are pretty nice though. So I will say, and I'm getting Chun Li with the lightning kicks. But okay, to start off, did why would they do another beta test now? I thought it was gonna be a one, two, three type thing. Like, is there a strategy behind them doing a beta test with like 3 weeks out?
what?
Similar, your thoughts?
I think it's actually a good idea. Most likely, it's probably going to be an open beta. They had three closed betas, which they did say it was closed. So I feel like this one is going to be an open beta.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just to continue to work the kinks out of the online play. And as you see, they keep adding like little details and features here and
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yeah.
visually and technically.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think it's good. I think
Now,
it's
what
good.
do you think about some of the data mining that was going on? That they found some outfits and you know how that rolls.
Sometimes I think Capcom, and instead of them wasting the marketing money to market that, they say, hey, let's put it in there and let everybody else find it, and it's gonna go viral.
Yeah, it's like
So
a hype factor type thing.
yeah, the costumes I think were great. I was happy to see Charlie's alpha
Yeah,
suit.
like
That was
normal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great to see. There was a lot of good looking alternate costumes in there. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
surprised. Chun-Li has her cop uniform.
Oh, the
I was
Chinese
like, wow.
police outfit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say live, but Demizzle, what are your thoughts since you got to play the beta, and I'm sure you played on the City and Chaos stage, which is rumored to be Metro City, New York. You
it
know?
is
Here's
Metro City, New
Metro.
York,
Yeah.
because you see the cars and it says
MPD.
MPD,
Yeah.
Okay.
and um, I thought the stage was really nice. I liked how it looked. I liked how it felt.
I like the
Uh,
music on it. To be honest with you, I was like, okay, it has.
they they have like a low res Alex just hanging out in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice stage. I liked it. The stress test, I believe, it's like, yeah, like I have no issue with them doing this up until the release of the game because you can never get netcode 2 right, and this is what I think they're doing, is trying to perfect it,
Mm-hmm.
because all my matches were against PlayStation 4 users.
Mm.
So
Okay.
the PC to PlayStation 4 connectivity is very good. I didn't notice any lag or stutter with it. Like, you can see it on the videos that I posted. Everything ran pretty smoothly. So I had no problems with it.
Okay.
But I will make a prediction. And this is for like players going forward, because I noticed different play styles. You can tell when someone who's an 09er versus someone who's been playing fighting games before 2009.
In what
And
way?
because
No, no, no. Because I think I know who he's talking about. Because you got some people playing. It's
like
polarized. Like you can see the divide as the old school to the new school gamer. But
an 09er, and for those of you who don't know what an 09er is, essentially someone who started playing fighting games with Street Fighter 4 in 2009. uh I noticed that a lot of 09ers will try and play it like Street Fighter 4 because in Street Fighter 5, when you commit to your move, you commit to your move. There's no focus attack dash canceling or anything like that. There's no mechanic that's similar to that. So I noticed a lot of 09. You can tell when someone's an 09er because they'll try and do a move and immediately back dash out or back forward dash into another move, and it doesn't work like that in Street Fighter 5. So you're able to catch these people with a lot of heavy normals or a lot of high damaging combos because in Street Fighter 4 you're not forced to commit to your move until that second move, you know? Whereas in Street Fighter 5 and previous Street Fighter games, once you commit to a move, that's it.
And that's what Shinwara said it best. You know, they got to play honest now. You know, no more of the gimmicks and what have you. You know.
Yeah, but you can genuinely tell when someone's an 09er versus someone who's been playing fighting games before that.
Okay.
But you know what, Dave? What's funny? The 09ers now are, I don't want to say they're the old school crew now, but they're going to be saying the same thing that we were saying about them. They're going to be saying that about the 16ers.
The 16er.
Yeah, the 16ers. They're going to be saying that, oh, look at these guys. They're brand new to the scene. But that's the point.
Yeah, who are they to talk after?
It's to continue to grow the scene. So, you know, we've been around. How long we've been playing fighting games, guys?
Shit. I've been playing since the original Street Fighter came out.
Fighting Street?
Yeah, so...
Don't say the year, Dave.
We know the history, but now these other guys are coming in. I mean, you know, the 09ers even before that, and now 2016. Yo, we've come a long way.
Yeah, but like the difference between like the 09ers and the people who will be coming in 2016 is that the people who come in 2016 will have it easier because they're like not having a previous frame of reference to go off of. Like Street Fighter 5 honestly plays like the older Street Fighter game,
like close to Super Turbo mixed with Third Strike. That's what I think.
and Alpha 3. Like it plays like a combination of those three Street Fighter games, and those are the Street Fighter games we grew up with. So
yeah,
the 16ers, for lack of a better term, will be more like the old school players than the 09ers will be. And I predict that 16ers and old school pre-09ers will have an easier time getting used to this game and getting the feel of this game than 09ers will.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that being said, like, okay, from Dave, anything like, okay, what characters were available? I think it was Armika, Zangief, and
Those are grapplers. I believe it was all grapplers.
Like for one day, it was all grapplers. So it was Armika, Zangief, Laura, and someone else.
Birdie. Was it Birdie?
Yeah, Birdie. Okay.
And then yesterday it was Karen, Rashid, Cammy, and
I think it was Nash. I think
and
it was
Nash.
both.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me ask you, what do you think is the strategy as to why they trickle out the characters? Because the special that we did at Shinwar's house, that was like the coolest thing because as the beta was going, we were like getting characters and it was an exciting thing. And then people are reporting breaking news. Like we already had a taste of the characters. Why trickle them out? You know what I mean?
Well, this is like just a stress test for now. So they're seeing how certain characters perform over the servers because not every character plays the same. Like a lot of characters play a lot faster than others, and a lot of matches will play a lot faster than others. So for characters that match up where it's a faster paced game, you need to make sure that the connection is stable enough to support that gameplay style.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Now, with that being said, any like combos that you guys wanted to share that you think might be effective per character? Like right now, I'm playing live with Laura. You know, I need some tips with her. You know, like genuinely, I've been told to keep her like on the ground. Like try not to do the jumping in and jumping out as often. So your thoughts?
With Laura, there's a good mix-up combo. You do the electricity, then you do a
the
jump.
spark?
The spark, like a medium. You hold the medium spark. You do it, and then you do a cross up with medium jump in, medium kick, land on the other side. Then you do medium punch, medium kick, target combo, then V trigger, and then you can do that into your critical art.
Shinwar, what's that target combo that she can only go into her V trigger?
Medium punch, fierce kick.
Medium punch, fierce kick.
You
And
should
I'll
do
try-
the knee at the end.
Alright. Medium punch, fierce kick.
and then there's another one. You do spark cross up with the medium kick with the jump kick, and then you do forward heavy, which
Oh,
you
yeah,
pop 'em
yeah.
up into the air, and then you do
The quarter circle.
Yeah, you do the jumping grab thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all the target combos are in the command list, FYI too.
Okay.
They're there so you can see them.
Alright, good stuff,
So,
good stuff.
With
Yes.
Ken, this is one that I proved Shenhua wrong with. You can actually target, you can combo into the medium heavy target combo from jab.
So jab, back, medium punch into the... Okay, I'm actually
then-
picking Ken now to try it.
And then you can do whatever off of that uppercut, because then you can do a critical art, you can do dragon punch, or you can do EX hurricane off of that as well.
Okay. So, I mean, I want to give Shinwar a chance to share some tech. Any combos that you found very useful so far in your time with the beta?
Found so much. I found so much. I can't wait to unleash it upon the public. Nah, this is a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of, trying to work crush counters into your gameplay. Lately I've just been working on how to punish block DPs, not with DPs, but on block, and you still can get crush counter off of those any type of DP move.
Shinwar, he was right. It just did that Ken combo with it registered 4 hits.
Yeah, that's Ken. I like Ken. He's very flashy. Even though a lot of people got nerfed in the game. Nash, I just love Nash. I feel like with that Laura combo, she should be able to do something after that knee.
Yeah,
Can't
she
do
needs
anything.
more.
I mean, you can only do V trigger, and that's fine, but you would think for big damage, you would do that target combo, V trigger, target combo into something else after. You can't do anything. So, a lot of
No,
stuff
but
is
with the stress chest, they changed the properties of the V skill for Laura. It pops up now.
What, the overhead kick?
Yeah.
What do you, ground bounce or just pops them up?
It pops up.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's another thing. These changes, you can't get used to the stuff in the beta. Can't get used to it.
Yeah, I foresee that everybody's gonna have some sort of learning curve reset, and what you thought you knew is gonna be completely out the window. I would say some things will be retained for the most part, because to be fair, with a lot of the guys that are out there, at these different live events, they're finding things, and then for them to flip the script like that, I get it. Once a year they're gonna be doing balance updates and stuff. Fine.
Well, you know what's funny about that? Capcom really changed the game again with this. To have a fighting game beta on this massive level.
It's all about the esports. They're trying to make this the most competitive Street Fighter to date.
This game has been in development for how many years? Well, ever since the thought process started was the arcade edition. But we got wind of it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago.
But those people who were paying attention, what Capcom had put out, they were hiring people to develop a new fighting game. At first, I thought it was Darkstalkers, but it makes sense that it was this. Those who knew how to use the Unreal Engine, So.
Right, but when you look at when you look at it being on a beta front, look how much access we have to the game. This is outside of special events that we may have to travel to, but we have it in our home. So Capcom, I think that was a good strategy. like just for us to get hands on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So now, honestly, you spoke about the learning curve. By
Mhm.
the time that game hits, you're gonna have killers day one.
Yeah, and that's man because at least the basic system is already down. So
Yeah.
it's like out the gate, it's gonna be, hey, like you said, monsters around the corner. You know what
Now,
I
did
mean?
they do that with Street Fighter 4? No.
But do you think that's gonna be a trend going forward with
I think that's
Capcom
gonna be a trend.
fighters?
I think that's gonna be a trend going forward.
They're building excitement, so I work that.
It's accessibility.
And actually, to respond to Slinky Jim, crush, crush, crush your head. I guess he's talking about the crush counter. Sorry, went all kind kids in the hall on you. Fun stuff. But let me ask you guys before we kind of wind down. Demizzle, your story predictions. Because for the sake of time, since we're gonna be doing this once a week until the release, we can keep these segments shorter and build more questions on YouTube. And I'm trying to do more like live gameplay, like I'm actually controlling Nash right now. But Demizzle, storyline predictions. What like with Shadaloo and so on and so forth. I don't want to go all over the place too much, but just something like in general.
I think I'm honestly gonna go out on a limb and predict that Gil is gonna be the final boss.
Okay, Shinwar seems to have like a. Okay, what are your thoughts, Shinwar?
Unfortunately, they didn't unveil the final boss. I highly doubt that it's gonna be Fong.
Uh huh.
Um,
Fong
a
is
lot
supposed to
of
be one of the four kings of Shadowloo. So
yeah, a lot of people are pointing to Nikali.
Yeah, I was saying
Um,
that.
for a second, I thought it was gonna go back to the alpha trend with the different characters being the different bosses for certain characters.
I think that would
I
be cool.
I think that would be cool, and then maybe in a future update, then they find they have a final boss. But I don't know. Hey, it could even be Bison again. I don't know.
oh, Bison.
Shout out to Project Justice, Bison. Y'all bad.
Bison.
But
Bison.
I'm thinking like they should go with character specific final bosses since they didn't unveil one yet. But if you look at in the beta 3 where they had under construction on some modes, I think it's gonna be Nikali, like a
Uh,
souped up version of him because the trailer indicates that him and Ryu got something going on. Like
yeah.
whatever
Go
his.
ahead. I wait. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's this once again that Satsui no Hado storyline. I think they're beating it with a dead horse. They're beating the dead horse.
But
I'm
you know
like,
what? It's initially it wasn't part of the main story until like the alpha. So it gives an interesting twist to it. Like an inner
but,
struggle, Star Wars like. You
It's
but
know,
more
here's
of
the
a
thing.
it's more of a subplot than a main thing though.
Yeah, how long is Ryu gonna deal with this? I'm like, come on. Like, and this is when we talk about fleshing out a character. Okay, Alpha, I get it. He was young, blah 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 blah. I get it. Street
hmm
Fighter 2, okay. Then we revisit this Hado thing again in Street Fighter 4. And now it's like, okay,
and then
so
they
now
made
that
no mention in Third Strike. You know what I mean? So it's like
well,
they
that
gotta.
obviously that was at a different time, when they
hmm
did it. But I don't know, man. I feel like I know one of the storylines is that Nash. That's the big one.
Well, since
With
he's
Nash,
technically like what Abel was to Street Fighter 4,
pretty
or
much, yeah.
you
And
know,
then
the,
a lot of people are saying, yo, they can't wait for Gal to come back and how he's gonna interact with Nash. Those guys are the Ken and Ryu of the military of the United States.
you know what I think
Yo,
too? I think that like MK, if anything, I think that the character should be unlocked as you fight in the story. You know what I mean? You come across
mm,
them, and then
hmm
okay, Guile is playable. Bam. Then you start seeing things
that would be cool, yeah.
Well, that's how
because
they did it in the Alpha 3, man. Like when you did the mission mode.
yeah, World Tour
But you know
Room.
what? Not for nothing. But you'd be surprised. Not a lot of people play story mode. They just jump right online. They
But
just
you know
jump right
what?
online.
I think too. I you gotta know what. Like I'm not a fan of just aimlessly playing characters.
Yeah,
Just getting
yeah.
out there. What their motivations are and things. It's just I don't know. I'm entertained by backstory and
I
lore.
agree. I agree.
Like Halo. I love the story with Halo. And the stuff going on with Cortana and Master Chief right now. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the next Halo storyline. So there's just some things where it's just more than just the game. But if you're really a fan, you're all in what makes the characters.
But you know what's funny, Alex? A
Hmm.
lot of people don't care nor like Street Fighter story. That's the funny part. And I'm like, yo, if you really
They're
look
like the
into
Call
the
of Duty folks, and they're probably like the 09ers and beyond, where they haven't grown up with them, with the characters.
if you go into the lore, into the mythos of Street Fighter, it's deep. It's deep and it's good. I mean, there's been some mediums that were a little like, yeah, this is whack.
Yeah,
But
like
guys
people,
like Joey, guys like Joey Ansa, they're really trying to dig deep and give you something rich, and that's
Hmm.
good. You know,
Well,
people don't realize that the Street Fighter lore spans multiple games outside of Street Fighter as well. You
Final
got like
that's
fight.
true too.
Final Fight, you got Saturday Night Slam Masters, you've got a little bit of what else is in there?
Rival schools.
Yeah, Rival Schools is in there.
But you know what? Now that you bring up Saturday Night Slam Masters, why don't they bring Gunlock into the fray or Oni, or there's a bunch of characters. Scorpion. They got a bunch of characters that I think
Scorpion's Mortal Kombat. No, I'm just
you know who I'm talking about, the one with the crazy powers and stuff.
They need to finally have freaking Mike Hagar in a Street Fighter game, not a versus series game. He needs to be in a straight up Street Fighter game.
Well, they're saying that he would be too much like Zangief, but Ultimate Marvel proved
But
that you can have him play different.
yeah, like he's supposed to be Zangief's number one rival,
Yeah,
and
and they're accusing each other of stealing the SPD. So I don't know. If anything, I think that
it would just be interesting. Like a mid boss fight for Zangief would be Mike Hagar. It'd just be like standing out, and you just hear the Saturday Night Slam Masters theme hit, like da 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 da
yeah.
da 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 da
But
da.
I'm sure it'll be a Final Fight theme though, because they did it in Ultimate Marvel. So
But you know what's funny? I feel as though Capcom, as much as they dropped the ball, man. A lot of this stuff they should have been done. This whole story mode thing should have been years ago. We talked about this in high school.
Capcom is like Vince McMahon. If they see somebody else do it, then they got to do their version of it. You know?
Yeah, we talked about this back in high school. We talked about alternate costumes back in high school. I remember all three of us was going to what was it? Electric Circuit? What was that arcade?
And Bloomfield.
Yeah, we talked about alternate costumes, even though back then it would have been hand drawn. But we talked about what we would have saw. And so, now MK Mortal Kombat does their story, which was very good.
And didn't you know Injustice have like it was decent too.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, it's like, okay, Capcom, you this should already been done.
Hmm.
And so now people like, well, are you gonna have it like a slideshow, or is it gonna be
Or like
animated?
I think that it should be the in-game engine. It should be in-game engine
Yeah, yeah,
graphics,
yeah.
and then like kind of make it where if something is happening in the scene, it should seamlessly go into like you see how Guilty Gear does when they do the
Yeah,
anime, and then as soon as it pops up, it like rotates until it gets the character into
right.
focus and starts as if like, oh shoot, like you gotta get ready to on the controller.
Yeah.
So that's
But then here's a question for you, Alex. Would you prefer it to be animated or like a still shots, like a
I don't want it
slideshow?
stills. No, that still slideshows. That's lazy. I think that's real
Yeah, but
lazy.
look at the tutorial. Look at the
That's what I'm
tutorial.
worried about. That's what I'm worried
Yeah.
about. Because if they do it like that, then they'll never catch NetherRealm Studios. You know what I mean? If Ono is gonna stay to his word, he needs to do a story that's formidable to MK and Injustice.
But here's the thing: Capcom needs to hire writers You know what I'm saying?
You know what they
Hire.
should just do? Just hire the dudes who wrote the Street Fighter comic book. That's it.
Udon?
Dude, you know what's funny? Udon does have a hand in that. That's the funny part, Dave. But they have Capcom that control, yo. They
Yeah.
got that control.
Well, Capcom. The problem with it's funny if you look at what happened with Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and how the whole Doctor Strange thing and how they were telling us at Comic Con how Capcom had their hands walked like they
Yep.
were on a leash. Like you got to do this, and that. Every finite detail. Now you got Capcom in the position of control. They're gonna do what they want to do, you know. So it's what it is. Looking at the chat, um, yes, I'm on the PC, guys, and in Slinky's Gym, you're saying they're spread out too much. What's spread out too much?
Pinky Jim.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that I keep the audience engaged. But in general, if they do it the right way, Street Fighter V can be like the best thing ever in terms of a proper story and a great game to boot. But I wanted to bring this probably one last topic because I don't want to keep Shinra on too long. But what are your thoughts on the digression of the number of critical arts, aka ultras? I'm still in a jaded position where it's like, okay, how is it that you have two ultras from? Look at it like Alpha 3 had three supers at the ready. Then,
Well, some had three, some had two.
yeah, but you had multiple supers at the
Yeah.
ready. Then you go into Third Strike where, you had three supers, but they were one at a time.
But
And,
then system direction, you can
yeah,
have all three.
but, and that made the game a little bit more fun for me. But with that, you had one at a time. And then when you see somebody pick a super art, like, oh, I already know how they're gonna play. You know what I mean? With that, then you go into Street Fighter, the multiple iterations of Street Fighter 4, and you see when they added double ultra combo. For me, it helped out with Chun Li because it threw people off. Like, oh, I thought they were gonna do that move. You know what I mean? So with that, how do you feel that they have kind of scaled back on the dramatics of the ultras or the critical arts and the number? Starting with the missile first and Shore.
Well, I don't mind it only being one because that's how it originally was when Street Fighter finally decided to debut super moves and
That they took from
Super
Fatal
Turbo.
Fury
Yeah, like Fatal Fury had super moves since Fatal Fury 2, and it took
and
like
World Heroes.
yeah, and it took them like since forever to catch up to that with Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And I don't mind it being one because it forces more creativity. Like I predict like you're gonna see more risks being taken with the critical arts than you did in Street Fighter 4 with the ultras. Because in Street Fighter 4 you generally only saw ultra off of a combo, and you rarely saw somebody, unless you were playing me, do a raw ultra.
We call it the Demizzle. When you're about to die, it's like Demizzle, like Kobe or Michael Jordan. Like, hey,
But
dude.
but now, like I predict that you'll see a lot more raw ultras because they'll be effective since like they freeze time and they advance forward. So you're gonna see a lot more people being caught in raw ultras. So you're gonna see that chance being taken a lot more than normal. It's also gonna force people to play more creatively and how they set up their ultras now or their critical arts, whatever you want to call them.
But wouldn't that run the risk of finding people playing the characters the same way? I remember giving a shout out to Corey Ashley, who was formerly of Raw Gameplay, many, many moons ago when Street Fighter 4 was still in vanilla, right? He said that, and Shinwar was there, I think, when he said it. In Railman, Time to Eat, Cammy got beat up. Looked like. Shout out to him. He was just playing, but he's made a point where once you get people who know all the tech for a character, they start playing the same. It's like, okay, you know what's coming. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but
No,
there's a difference between like you can know what's coming all you want, but it's up to you to stop it. Like I know how Shinwar plays Balrog and Street Fighter 4 front and back. Doesn't mean I can stop it.
but it's like okay, it gets to a point where you know it's coming type thing, and it's just okay.
Okay. I would just politely disagree to the extent of even though
No,
Street
you
Fighter
could just
4 there were
disagree. It doesn't have to be polite. What?
then Street Fighter 4 there were ultras, there were supers too. A lot of people, obviously, that's on another meter, but technically you did have two supers, but the ultra was meant to be your revenge meter. You still had a super. If you wanted to save your EX meter, then you get a super. Um, in regards to the critical art, I feel as though Capcom could be holding stuff back for a future upgrade. Which they'll probably give us like one or two more supers or whatever. But when you look at Street Fighter 3, it was the same thing. If I seen Alex pick Ultra 3, Super Art 3 with Ryu, he's gonna do the dungeon. So I know that's coming. He picked that out of his list, right? Okay. There's numerous setups for that dungeon. So I'm not gonna expect him to always knock me down and then charge up a dungeon. You know what I mean? He could uppercut me or fake me out, throw a fireball, and then do a dungeon behind it. I could parry it, but that's that. I think in this, it's not going to come down to raw supers all the time. I think it's going to come down to footsie games, hit confirm into a critical art. That's what I feel like because I'm watching this stream right now, the Mad Cat stream, and as many times as Takedo did the special move with Nash, the scythe kick, that knocks him back into critical art. He hasn't done an EX move yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is gonna happen.
I think
because
too.
they,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, because they do so much good damage. And the problem with the problem with Ultra, and then the Street Fighter 4 series, the Ultras, a lot of them weren't able to combo into them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You have to do the hit confirms.
Look at Blanca. What can you do in the Ultra 1? Focus attack. If you wanted to combo, then you could focus attack. But there was no cancel into his Ultra.
True.
Actually, there was a link, though.
All right.
Hard link that you could.
Another question with that then, what do you think about them not separating the critical art meter and the EX meter? Because I find myself, maybe I'm still getting used to the system, but you know, if I'm using the EX, I know I'm not getting an ultra.
No, that's your
been
resources.
That's how it's been like since Street Fighter Alpha, though.
Yeah, that's your resources. You got meter management.
No, but even with Street Fighter Alpha, you had the levels. You could do a level 1, level 2, and then still use some EX meter.
Well,
now
there was no EX
thing.
in Alpha.
You sure? Which one?
Yeah,
Alpha 3?
There was no EXs in EX. EX is starting
in Street Fighter 3. Yeah, they started taking it for third
Like
strike.
you still had to manage your meter. Like you had to decide if you wanted to.
Alpha counter.
Yeah, like you had to.
Yeah, but you still had 3 levels to burn. So if you did one counter with 1 meter, and then you still had 2 meters to do something else with, you know what I'm saying?
But not everybody had 3 meters. Like some people only had 1 meter. Some people only had.
What, in Alpha?
No, in Street Fighter 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's talking about Alpha. But you gotta understand, we're not in those realm of games anymore. Where this is a new game. It's the same factor, but it's different.
Yeah, true.
We're not gonna have supers with 1 bar. Honestly, those days are probably gone. They may come back. But right now that's not what we're playing.
True that.
But I think back to your original question though, with the supers being separated from the EX bar. I mean, we got the V system, but honestly, I just feel as though it's all about your resources.
Meter management and all that. Yeah. It's like
do I spend this on an EX move or do I save it? Now I will say this though, with those 3 bars, an EX should take half of that first bar. It shouldn't take that entire bar.
But you have to consider what EX moves are in this game. Like EX
They're
moves are the
equivalents of
equivalent of
supers.
old supers. Like you have.
Yeah, mini supers. But Dave, think about it. Look at Street Fighter 3, right? Oh shit, he beat him. Look at Street Fighter 3. When Chun-Li Ultra 2, right? She gets 2 bars, right? If you were to do an EX, there were no bars inside that 1 bar. It was just one long bar.
Right.
So with Super, in order for me to do an EX, I have to get my first bar full, right? What if, let's say, if I don't know, the first 20%, I can start using EXs? What do you think that should have been added to the game?
No, I like it the way it is.
So in order for me to do an EX, I have to have one full.
You have to have
bar.
at least, yeah. I don't mind that because, like, at least, like, you can. It adds honestly, it adds another element of strategy because if you see someone get meter, it's like, okay, I know this person can start doing this. Like with Ken, you can't do a combo like jump kick, medium, low into a heavy hurricane kick anymore. You have to do, if you want that big damage hurricane kick combo, you have to do jump kick, medium, low, EX hurricane kick. So
well, no, you can do the light kick or the medium.
No,
kick, though,
but I mean, like
if
if you want that big damage hurricane kick combo with the heavy, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can only do that when you have V skill, V trigger active, or you need to EX hurricane. You need to EX into that hurricane in order to get that heavy damage combo. Is what I'm saying.
I
So
see.
it adds another element of strategy because it's like, okay, this person has meter, they can start EXing, but will they waste it immediately on something, or will they continue to build to their critical art?
Now, here's another thing, and you brought up a very good point. Some characters, when they get their EX meter, they become very dangerous. I was fighting
Sakura was like that in Street Fighter 4.
I was fighting a Vega yesterday, and I know once Vega gets that EX meter, I can't jump in on him because he'll do the Scarlet Terror, which will beat a lot of my jump ins. So the moment I get him to waste that, then I can pound on him. Because now he wasted that bar, now I get to pound on him.
What? Pound on him? What?
Yeah, so like with Ken, okay, you're fighting Ken. Once he gets that first EX meter, you're like, oh shoot, let me be extra careful not to get hit with an EX Shoyu. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about the properties of an EX. And I think that's the great part about the game. That's the great part.
Yeah,
the meta. It's all about the meta.
Like in Street Fighter 4, like EXs were generally used to keep people away. Like Ryu with the double EX fireball, Ken same way. Pretty much anyone who had a projectile was essentially used to keep away rather than a pure offensive moves. And in Street Fighter 5, with EX moves, they encourage you to be offensive with your moves by making them like old school supers, you know?
Yeah.
And in general, the game was based, and they've gone on record to say that they want this to be played more like Killer Instinct, like aggressive, in your face, get in there and fight. All that turtling stuff and all that, they're trying to do away with and, you know, have pure fights. You know, all this stuff with timeouts. And one thing that they should do, and that I've seen with Guilty Gear XRD, you start trying to play defensive, they're going to take your super meter. Negative penalty. You know what I mean? Like, make them fight. Make them earn it, you know, so.
I heard one change that they made already in Beta 4 is when you go to the next round, your position goes back to your original position. So if you're on first player, you go back to first player on next round. Remember in the previous betas, wherever you were, it resumes right there. Not this case. It goes back to the traditional, going back to the first player, second player side.
I actually like the idea of fighting where you are. It makes it more like, you know, how can I say, realistic to say.
You also maintain your meter in Beta 4 as well.
Oh, is that right?
I thought you maintained it before.
No, you would lose it.
The entire bar?
Yep.
Wait, your V trigger or EX?
EX.
EX meter. I remember because there would be times I'm
You
like,
would
man.
keep your V trigger, but you would lose your
Really?
EX.
Oh, so okay, they changed it then, huh?
But that's good because I was wondering like why you lose it.
Yeah, that's stupid because it's okay. It's reset. That's dumb. But okay,
hmm
at least as long as they change it.
Yeah. All right. So, in closing, anything that you guys want to bring out, and then I guess we'll save some, or we can save some topics for next week. But just to round everything up, starting with Shinmar.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm just glad that Capcom is getting a lot of acknowledgement. Fresh new game, new people getting involved. I'm happy that we're able to experience it, and not be like that. Why does the West Coast get to play it, at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
event?
yeah. I
We're
think they were
all getting to
listening.
play it. Yeah, yeah. So it's just good that we're all getting to play it all at once.
Okay. Demizzle, any final thoughts for this week's segment?
That's it.
If you happen to catch me on a stress test, the name to look up is Demizzle for Rizzle. That's DMIZZLE, the number 4 RIZZLE. And I'll gladly take you on and I'll record it. I'll put it on the channel. I'll shut you out.
Oh man, the Bloomfield champ is back. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And if you guys want to catch me on the stress test, if I'm available, and to that guy that was taunting me when I was using the keyboard to just try
Ah.
something, if I find you, I'm going to destroy you. Once the game comes out, fight me with
Oh.
the arcade stick, and let's see you taunt me then.
Like
I'm
you're
just
like you're like I don't know who you are or where you live, but I
I
have
have
a
a
specific set of
pathetic.
skills. I will find you.
And I
I
will
will
kill
kill you.
you.
Or
So
you say it like Krillin, yo, you will find me and you will kill me. What?
no,
What the heck, Krillin?
that
What
dude
the
was not even good because I was stuck with Armika because in that beta 4, it didn't allow me to pick my character, and or so I
Was it the
thought.
favorites? It's still the favorites, right?
Yeah, but it gave me Armika, and then I
if
was
you
trying
don't
to.
if you don't have a favorite selected, it just randomly selects somebody for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I
Man.
didn't know that. So this guy's sitting there trying to tighten me up. I'm like, okay, I got you.
The Titan mode.
And that
Man.
Bounce, man,
match.
you already bought. How we gonna tighten you up some more, son?
What
Nee,
happened?
nee, 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 nee.
Well, I just say this. I already got somebody on my radar. I am going to embarrass him when the game
Ooh.
comes out. So, yeah, I'm gonna probably put his name in a
No, just say it
annotation.
right now. Say
No,
it
I
right
don't
now.
remember. Like it's in
Oh,
the video though. So.
He said, oh, what the heck,
No,
man?
it's all right. I got him. I got something in store for
He
him
said,
because I
oh.
got Ryu in the lab right now. So first Street Fighter 5 call out. So, with that, I want to thank the
so
staff.
February 16th, you know who
That's
you
it,
co-
yo. It's going
yo
down.
February 16th, yo,
But you
whoever
know
Alex
what?
is talking about,
The funny
that's
thing
your
though.
ass.
The funny thing about that, though, unfortunately, due to the fact that a lot of people's names will change once the game, is released, I might not find the guy again. But just know, if you find Alex Lexus, I want you to use the Laura and do what you did to me in that video. I'm telling
What
you, you're
he do,
gonna get
yo?
bodied.
What the heck?
I
He's gonna
gotta
get
see this
bodied.
video now.
He sat there taunting me. I'm using the keyboard. You know what I mean? I was actually
Why you
doing
didn't
the
plug your arcade stick in?
It was like late at
Oh.
night, so I didn't even know that it's like a new fighter's coming your way, and this dude just came out and I got beat up. And the funny thing about it, when I like got into a rhythm in the second round with Armika, how come I was still I won a round off of him off the keyboard? So that means to me he's not
Unbelievable.
that good. So yeah, make sure you're like at tournament level before you're out there like trying to taunt people. Like that's one thing I just despise. And I'm glad that they made it 6 buttons so that it's something super deliberate.
You
You know what
just
I mean?
met your six cousins.
Yeah, yeah, it's all gravy. But to those in the chat, to Toxie Chris 15, and Slinky Jim, a couple other folks. If I
Shout out
miss,
to Stinky Jim.
yeah,
Do the stanky leg. Do the
and to
stanky leg.
Azurath, just thank you guys for checking out the stream tonight. Be In the next week, we're gonna be coming at you same time with some more stuff. I actually want to like discuss more combos. And final shout out to Project Justice. I'm gonna fix the Skype or the Discord so I can make sure that you're involved. He should be on next week, and probably Shin Takuma. And the staff is always welcome to join me on this weekly segment up until the release of the game. So with that, this has been Alex Lexus of the New Gaming Order, Shinwar, our staff member, and Demizzle from Free Play Mode coming at you, and we'll see you all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.